What's up, guys? It is Tom bringing you guys week 2 of the NPL. This week, we go up against Fog, owner of TheFogHornChannel, maybe minus the. I am unsure, but his link will be in the description, as all of my opponents' channels will be in the description. So, this week will be my, I guess, initiation to the NPL. I just did a video on the breakdown of the team that I had inherited and how garbage I think it is. Even though it is strong, it is garbage because in terms of GBA, it is easy to prepare for. But we're gonna look at his team, and we'll do it right now. And his team is nice and balanced, very nice and balanced. His team is something in terms of how I would like a team I would expect to have in the GBA, or in this type of format at least, because there is a balance between um, physical presence attackers, physical walls, and special sweepers, special attackers. And not only that, but there's a plethora of mons that can set up hazards of any sort of variety. So looking at this team, the top five, the three sweepers you see right there, Mega Gardevoir, Excadrill, and Keldeo, my team has literally zero fucking answers to. I have things like one thing or two things I can switch into them, but those three working together, this team does not handle those three. Because Keldeo, Specs, Hydro Pump, Scarfed Hydro Pump does like 60%, and then to like any kind of special defensive mon I have on my team. And then Mega Gardevoir, Hyper Voice for days, unless I bring Klefki, which he has three perfect answers to, being Excadrill, Hippowdon, and Diggersby. And then if you just click Shadow Ball, like nothing on my team wants to take a Shadow Ball. And then he has an Excadrill in the sand, outspeeds everything on my team, has a means of just killing everything on my team, and yeah, I have no answers for those. And then in terms of his wall core, Amoonguss, Slowbro, and Chansey literally make me want to vomit, just everywhere, because I fucking hate Chansey. And Slowbro with Chansey with Amoonguss is yeah, that's what nightmares are made of. That's what you see when you look underneath your bed at night. You just see Chansey and Slowbro just staring at you, because they're through those very simple faces is pure evil. Just fun fact for all you kids. The tier 2 threats I considered Rotom Staraptor, and I'm gonna save it on those middle two for a second. Rotom Staraptor would be good things for him to bring, because I'm not really gonna set up rocks, but they're not the best things. But if you wanted to, have a little bit of variation in terms of what he is thinking I'm gonna think, or just to kind of go a little bit more on the offensive, I don't see why you would, but just in case, he can bring those. In the middle two, I think, predicting his team, I think it's going to be Mega Gardevoir, Keldeo, Chansey, Hippowdon, Excadrill, with Amoonguss coming or Slowbro coming. Those six guarantee him basically a win against my team. I can prepare as much as I want, but it's going to be damn near impossible to break down those walls mixed with those sweepers. Because if he knocks out one or two specific mons on my team, I don't have a switch in to a threat, or I don't have a way of breaking one of his walls to give me an easier time. And the tier 3 threats, I consider Doublade and Diggersby, because those are just outliers. Those are like your X factors in case you need some sort of, I don't know, if in some crazy case, if Excadrill or Staraptor can't do the job, then you have Diggersby, and then Doublade is just kind of there. So Yeah, that's team breakdown. Let's hop into the battle in just a second. Hey, would you look at that? Got the fucking team right. Goddamn Batman. Super detective over here. Shit. Yeah, so his team got pretty much on the money. Basically, I'm thinking Scarf Keldeo with Life Orb Excadrill, and then Wall, Fat Shit Core. And then my team is Defensive Zapdos to handle the Excadrill, Spadef, Special kind of weird Fergus, Quagsire, weird Quagsire set, and then Metagross, which is actually pretty much my only way to handle Gardevoir, and then Terrakion and Conkeldurrs, I'll explain when I get to them. He switches out Keldeo as I leave with Zapdos. I was not gonna go for Volt Switch or U-turn here just because I was so, like, if he was Scarfed and I could have had Balls here and stayed in and kind of risked getting hit with a Hydro, but I chose not to solely because I haven't even seen what type of Excadrill he has yet, even though I'm thinking it's gonna be Life Orb. He goes for some sort of fucking wish, like, I guess. Just go for Toxic, because that's what I do. And I know he has Natural Cure, but, whatever. In case he switched. So I didn't think he would stay in. I just said Toxic, something, feel the best answer. He goes into Gardevoir, and I believe I just go right here. I go for Icy Wind. Right there, you see that he traces unaware. That was a fuck up. And that will pretty much kill this Quagsire for the rest of the match, because that was supposed to be Water Absorb, and I don't understand why Jen didn't fix that when I fucking fixed it. Fuck. You. This is the first time I think I've ever messed up in terms of genning a Pokemon. Yeah, Mega Evolve's a Gardevoir, and I'm not sure what... he said at the end of the match he didn't have Shadow Ball. I think that was a huge oversight on his part. Because he just like this Gardevoir goes for Hyper Voice, and I believe this Metagross has like 200 Spadef EVs, like 220, 232 I think, and that Hyper Voice still does a fair amount. I was kind of dumb when I put the Cassib Berry on here, whatever it is, the handle ghost type attacks. Probably should put Leftovers, to be completely honest. He goes into Powdon. First is the second of Fat Wallness that we see here. I don't know why I stayed in here with oh yeah, I was predicting him just go for Earthquake, go for Rocks, and at least I'd be able to get some damage off. But then I forgot that Hippowdon is a fat fuck that I can't take down because this Ice Punch is gonna do like 20%, and yeah, he just sets up his Rocks here. That's obviously something I need to take care of with Zapdos. Not sure when I'm going to do that, but I have to. So, yeah, he puts up his Rocks. I'm currently riding Magnets, which is pretty dope for a Metagross to do. And he goes into My Little Pony. The motif of this match was for me to play aggressive, and I kind of figured he would switch because, you know, I've already seen 3 of his moves being Toxic, Slack Off, well, he has Slack Off, he's a Hippowdon, of course he has Slack Off, he's a Wall too. Stealth Rocks, and I thought Earthquake, so he literally can't touch me. But, like, oh, right here is where I was like, oh yeah, you have Water Absorb, right? Fuck, of course not. The way I figured was that if I need to play aggressive in this match to even have a cold chance in hell, because I can't just play the way I did in the GBA where I controlled the match, because I have no control in this match. He has the Wall Core that beats my attackers, and he has the Sweepers that beat my walls. So I had to play a little more aggressive. For sure, for Earthquake, got big damage off of the Keldeo. That would have helped me out in the long run, to be completely honest. Going to Conkeldurr, and I believe here I just go for Knockoff to knock off his Leftovers. I think after that I go for Ice Punch, and then because he is now. I don't like to bash people's ways of playing this game because, let's face it, it's a game. But when you say leading up to this match that you like playing stall, that's like. It's like me hearing that you like having cancer, or you enjoy like putting sharp objects in your butthole. That's pretty much what I'm hearing when I hear that, because stall and like don't go in the same sentence. Don't like stall goes in that sentence, but not like stall. Yeah. So that kind of made me upset. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, well, this should be an enjoyable match, because especially when you have a Chansey and Hippowdon and Amoonguss and Slowbro on the same team, you kind of, you know, take a special type of player to do that. He goes Toxic, thinking he can get a leg up on this Cofagrigus. This is a very, very, very innovative Cofagrigus. I love the name though, Tut and Dougie, because you know, like King Tut, but he's King Tut and Dougie, because Dougie's on them hoes, Dougie on them hoes. Except he doesn't in this match. He just does. He Shadow Balls, and I figured he. Oh, actually, he doesn't need this. Fucking Hippowdon doesn't even have Earthquake. So that's fun, right? Because he went for a Toxic. We saw Slack Off, Stealth Rocks, now Whirlwind. Wow, that's a dumb Hippowdon set. Yeah, that Hippowdon is that Cofagrigus is a CM variant. I think it's very special defensive because its defense is already awesome. So right here, this was stupid. I was so afraid that he had. I kind of went into this match not expecting to win, just kind of expecting to play damage control because of how difficult it would be for me to really get a leg up. But I could have just defogged here, because the best thing he is going to do is going to Toxic, as you'll see right about now. I'll go back into you know, the guy with the thing, the dead thing, and I believe he just goes for Toxic. I'm already Toxic though. I guess I was trying to bait a switch there, but again, this is just this Hippowdon is probably very defensive with some defense investment just to handle. Now, okay, this might look stupid, but I went for Shadow Ball solely to bait in the Chansey. Now, I figured, okay, I did my scouting where I watched his narration saying that he ran his typical Chansey, being Soft-Boiled Wish, some sort of status, whether it's Toxic or Thunder Wave, and Seismic Toss. Now, in doing such, I was able to figure out that he can't touch Cofagrigus. And this thing, I know, seems strange to have Shadow Ball and Knockoff, especially on a team that has Chansey, but that was pretty much my reasoning behind this Cofagrigus. It was solely to bait in Chansey and get the Knockoff off, to knock off the Eviolite, because then Chansey becomes much more manageable. Now, right here, I think I should just stayed in. This thing was, I do stay in. And I think do I just die? No, I take that. And I go for Knockoff. I wanted to see what item this was. And I give him, ooh, that spooky justified boost. Oh no. But I knock on the Choice Scarf. It doesn't, oh my god. Dan's recordings. They literally kill me. I wanted to knock off the Choice Scarf. I guess it didn't really matter, because Terrakion at that point would probably just be a speed tie. But I go for Shadow Ball. He switches out into Amoonguss, and basically, you know, Amoonguss, I guess, is his like other backup wall. But I knew I'm going to sleep anyway because this thing outspeeds Cofagrigus, like base 30 to base 20 or some shit. But yeah, Cofagrigus to sleep. I don't think I stay in to burn the sleep turn. I think I just go ahead and switch out, because there's no reason for me to stay in. I think he just goes for Giga Drain. And like I said, if I had leftovers on Metagross instead of stupid Cassette Berry, you gotta understand, like, I was so thrown off by this match solely because this match seemed like a perfect, not counter team, but like way to check most things on my team. It was just difficult to adjust myself from having a good, stable team in the GBA to having this to deal with. So, I believe right here he just goes back into Keldeo, and I get the most clutch of clutch Breeze! Suck my dick, Keldeo. Suck my dick. I don't even feel bad about this, because later I think I paid for this? Yeah, I paid for this later. But he gets frozen, and then he gets frozen twice, and then I go for Earthquake, and I knock him out. I think if he had Scald over like not having it, he might have thought out and gotten damage off. But I think he went for Hydro because I want to say I made good aggressive plays, but I didn't have the team to handle. Oh, this is where I get the payback for that freeze. Goes for Earthquake. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I think I made better plays than he did because I was forced to play aggressively in terms of trying to have a chance. But I think that he just had the better team and didn't have to be as reckless as I had to be. But that's just the way I had to play in order to just have a fighting chance. Not to discredit him as a battler. That's wrong. I would never do that. But yeah, he just knocks me out. The flinch that mattered obviously because I just roosted. Maybe not taking a second one, but I could have definitely roosted and been able to possibly live, or at least go off for a defog, a last second defog. Good. Another freeze. Going to Terrakion, obviously he's not going to stay in. I was like, I'll just go for fucking Earthquake, or close combat here. Should've remember Earthquake, that was stupid. But you could tell, if not before I brought this Terrakion in, now that this is a Panda Terrakion, because that is a defensive Amoonguss, and that did damage. Lots of it. So I go and I'll switch out here, because he's going to go for Giga Drain, let's be honest. I believe I go to Metagross, and no, I go into Conkeldurr. This might have seemed stupid, but I have been a sophist on this. And I believe he goes out into Excadrill. Don't know what he was predicting, but he's going to switch out. And I believe I just go for Drain Punch, or I go for Knockoff. I think I go for Drain Punch. It's probably going to be Drain Punch. I think I need HP back. And obviously this is going to do nothing. More than I expected, because this is a Gardevoir. But obviously I'm not going to stay in. I thought for a second, I was like, oh, I think I took about 40 seconds to make that play. But I was considering, do I stay in, and do I attempt to live a Hyper Voice? I'm like, no, I already have Adamantium. And right here, he just goes for Hyper Voice, and he gets close to knocking me out. And like I said, if I had leftovers, I probably would have been up at like 30 HP, maybe even 50 HP, to take on this Amoonguss. Now, since this guy is a stall player, and since he has 3 fat fucking Mons that all do fat fucking Mon things with healing moves, it didn't really fucking matter if I did predict that and go for Ice Punch, because, yeah, I probably would have gotten damage off. Like, you're gonna see right here, this is gonna be, like, not a terrible amount of damage. Hell, actually, if I did predict that, oh, it was a crit. Ha! Doesn't matter, I guess. If I did predict that, I probably could have gotten some good damage off, maybe knocked out the Amoonguss. But I guess it didn't really matter, because, you know, I was going to lose the battle anyway. Yeah. Basically, once Adamantium went down, I didn't really have a way to, like, sponge a hit from Gardevoir. And that was a problem, because once I basically kill anything, it was pretty hard for me to not let something die to Hyper Voice. But right here, this was stupid. I should have went for close combat. It didn't fucking matter. But I think I really wanted to see how much Retaliate would do to anything. I thought it was a cool move, dumb move, but cool nonetheless. You know, just seeing how much it would do to a fully defensive Hippo. Whatever. Again, close combat was the best move there, but I was really split. I didn't know what he was going to switch into, whether he was going to switch into Amoonguss or not, because he did last time, so that's what I was fearing. You know, I burned those return. Okay, in a way, I predicted the wake up right here. I really did predict the waking up. I should just went for knockoff, or even Shadow Ball. I was thinking Shadow Ball, I really was. and I should just run Shadow Ball there just to get damage off. But I was thinking, if he stays in, I don't see why he would stay in. But if he stayed in, I could have at least gotten damage off. So maybe I want to kill this thing because I don't think I had any kind of special attack investment. But hell, it's still Asparagus, and I probably could have did enough that, you know, maybe I could have gotten damage. But that's not the case, and he just knocks me out with Earthquake. Like, it's no big deal. So I believe here I go into Conkeldurr. Now the thing is, like, his Hippowdon had leftovers, so he's only having about 5 turns of sand, which, okay, right here is basically what determines the match. He gets to stand up for 5 turns. So I'm going for close combat because there's no reason for me not to anymore. I need to just knock things out, and I get a really high roll there. I think that's 50% right on the money. And the roll, I think, for a max defense Hippowdon and a max attack Banded Terrakion is 48 to 52%. So I got a middle roll, and then I got a middle high roll. So I was so expecting him to live on like 1 HP right there and then knock me out with an Earthquake. But right here is what basically wins him the match. You know, he goes into Excadrill, goes for Earthquake, and he outspeeds everything. And I only had Conk and Terrakion left. Maybe I could have just stayed in and went for let him kill me with Earthquake, not going to Conkeldurr. Because he had Gardevoir left, which I think would have just knocked me out, because I would have went for Mach Punch, he probably would have switched into Gardevoir, knocked me out with Mach Punch, and that would have been the battle. Actually, now that I think about it more, that endgame could have been a little bit different, but at that point, like I said, I'd given up. Once I got the sand up, I pretty much, you know, he had the match. It was I lose 4-0, so the former Detroit Pincer, now the San Jose Sharpedos, are -8, 0-2, to a very good team. Apparently, I think Keegan was the winner of all of the marbles last year, and you know, that's good for him. I could see why. He makes a very good team. I don't think I play him again because he's in the other division. I think it's the Luxury and the Premier division. You know, to each its own. But yeah, that was our battle. I'm not sounding like I'm defeating myself here. I know I'm new. I have a very good team. It's just the matchup this week with the team that I saw had a lot of holes in it was a very difficult matchup on my end. And I think I did a damn good job preparing. I think I usually do a damn good job preparing. I never, you know, just give up, just throw my hands up and say fuck it, because that's not who I am. You guys know that's not who I am, and that's not how I like. You know, if I'm in this, obviously, I'm gonna try. I don't know who I play next week. I will figure that out when I make my video next week, and you know, we'll work from there. But as of right now, I'm in a -8 hole, minus at 0-2. I think we have 14 game season, so I have 12 weeks left. Basically, I have a GBA season to dig myself out of a -8 hole before, but I've done that before, and I'll do it again. Damn well try my hardest to. So I will catch you guys, you know, whatever my next battle is. I'm not gonna promise any videos because don't know what my week is looking like. So yeah, San Jose Sharpedos signing out, and you guys have yourself a great day. Later.